Hello and welcome. My name is Linda Barnum and this is Beginner QiGong. Before I begin our session today, I'm going to take a moment to read the disclaimer. Please listen carefully. To reduce and avoid injury, you should check with your doctor before beginning any fitness program. By performing any fitness exercise, you are performing them at your own risk. The town of Aurora will not be responsible or liable for any injury or harm you sustain as a result of participating in our online fitness or information shared on our website or social media channels. This includes emails, videos, and text. Thank you for taking the time to listen. As we begin our QiGong session today, I'm going to start in a seated position. I'm sitting in a steady and upright chair. If you prefer to do that, please have a steady and upright chair ready. Or if you're comfortable sitting on the floor, you may wish to sit on the floor. Take a moment to make yourself comfortable and settle in. Simply translated, the word QiGong translates as energy work. So we can think of QiGong as a way to balance our energy through gentle movements and breath work. Practice consistently, QiGong can help to improve our balance, coordination, strength, and flexibility. It is also a very good way to reduce stress and manage our mood. I hope that you enjoy this session. Please make sure that you're working at a range of motion that is right for your body. Keep it pain-free. If you need to adjust the range of motion, just make things a little smaller. For example, we take the arms in a big circle and that's not right for you. Just make the circle smaller. We'll also be doing some repetitions of movements. So when we do this, please, again, adjust to have this work for you in your body. Do less repetitions or more. When we sit in the chair, I like to begin with a little roll of a blanket into the small of my back or along the spine. I'm going to place it this way today and then sit a little further forward. This helps me to sit upright and comfortably. So there's just a little more opportunity to breathe efficiently. Have your feet about hip width apart. Settling into your sits bones in an even way. So not the weight one side or the other, but down through both sits bones equally and down into both feet equally. Lift and lengthen up through the crown of the head so that you feel a little taller, but at the same time, remember to relax your shoulders. Place your hands palms down on the front thighs. Take a breath. Feel yourself in this present space. I'm going to take one hand and place it on the belly in QiGong. This is the lower dantian or lower energy field. One hand on the chest. In QiGong, this is the middle dantian or middle energy field. Relaxing the shoulders. Close your eyes if you like and lower your gaze. Start to settle into an awareness of the breath as gently moving your body. You might feel your hands shifting with the in-breath, the out-breath. Gently lifting and then softening back with each in-breath, with each out-breath. Notice this movement and settle into the rhythm of your breath, allowing your breath to be natural and easy. Invite your body to relax. Softening your face, relaxing your shoulders, softening down through into the belly, front thighs, legs and feet. And feeling your connection to the surface of the ground. It's directly through the feet or indirectly through the seat of the chair. Settle into the support of the ground. Take a few more breaths to settle into your body. Now release your hands down again, front thighs. This can be nicely grounding, by the way. Just feel that shift as you bring the hands onto the front thighs. Drop your chin to your chest and gently roll the chin over so that you're looking down towards the one armpit. Very slowly over to the other side. Releasing the neck. Nice easy movements. Relaxing the jaw, let your lips part a little bit, your teeth separate. Let's take that one more time either side. And come back center. Roll your shoulders so that you're taking your shoulders up and back. Starting to release some of the tension around the neck and shoulders. Throughout the session, we'll move down and through the whole body. Relax your shoulders down. Going to slip the blanket out if you chose to use the blanket there and move yourself a little further forward on your chair so that you have room to move your spine. Scooping back and creating a shallow letter C shape with your spine, flexing the spine into cat, and then up and extending through, lifting the heart. Moving at a pace and a rhythm that feels good. Releasing a little further down the spine with our cat stretch. I'm going to just show you that from the side as well, so that you can see the movement of my spine. If you chose to sit on the floor, same thing. Rounding and scooping back. Lifting and extending forward. Now let's bring that into a bigger movement with a circling action. Taking it around to the one side, forward, over to the other side, scooping back. Remember, the purpose is to release tension. So again, finding that rhythm and pace that works for you, a really good range of motion that works for you. Let's change direction. And let's do one more circle, full circle around and back to center. Now take the hand just onto the side of the chair or on the floor if you're sitting on the floor, and bring the other arm up and over to create some space now through the side and bring into the spine into a lateral movement. So just getting the spine nicely warmed up. We're coming over and then we're going to swing this arm through and reach and lengthen in the opposite direction. Now, all this time, I'm going to keep the sits bones evenly centered into this chair or into the floor. So we're not leaning the weight, but staying centered into the sits bones and into the feet. Let's try this on this side and lengthening through. Just a reminder that the repetitions are up to you. We're going to do about 6 each side, but there's no science behind that number. So just where, again, it feels right, a little less or a little more. Let's do one more on this side. Bring it down, lifting the other arm up and over, and reach and lengthen. Now imagine that your fingers can lengthen you out just a little bit further, like there's a bit of a substance out through the edge of the fingers that just takes you that little bit further into your side stretch, lengthening and releasing out to the side. Breath, just nice and easy. And this last one on this side. Bringing it up and down to the center again. You might just want to roll your shoulders. We're going to tap. When we're tapping in QiGong, it's to move and shift the energy. We start here, just underneath the collarbone and into this top lung space. And this can feel very nice for releasing tension into the upper body. So tap in at the amount of vigor that you would like in your tap in. Opening it up across the chest, down through from the neck, across this shoulder, and back into this back lung space. I feel a little bit of tingling. The energy starts to move. Come down through the forearm and then up through the back of the arm. Let's do that one again. And then take it over to the other side. Waking things up a little in the upper body. Over onto the shoulder here. And then reach in, if you can, a bit into that back lung space. Coming down through the inner arm and up through the outer arm. Let's come back into the center, a little more. Give it a rub and bring it down. Sit for a moment and just feel the response to those few simple movements. Perhaps a little tingling and energy in your upper body. As the energy shifts, tension is released. And we're going to come up into standing. If you prefer, you can stay seated in your chair. If you find that you would like to do some of the movements in standing, but then return to the chair, again, listen to your body and do what's right for you. Come on up into your standing. And move the chair out of the way. Blanket. And just take a moment to move the screen. Oops. There we go. Now in our standing, let's do the same. Feet about hip width apart. This time I want the knees a little soft, tailbone dropping, the shoulders relaxed, and lifting and lengthening through the crown of the head. And then we're going to sink it a little deeper, like you're just about to sit down on a chair. Let your pelvis slide back slightly. Make sure your knees feel okay. I'm going to bring the arms up and open here, just like cat stretch, but a bit bigger and more vigor to the movement. And then round and come forward. So when we use the arms, there's an extra bit of weight. It adds a little more opening. If the arms feel like that's not working, that's a little too intense, then just go back to the cat stretch that we did before, arms down. Make sure your knees are a little bent. Coming up, lifting the heart, opening through the chest. Coming forward and scooping and rounding forward. Feel that space through the upper back, the back of the heart and lungs. Let's do one more here. Elevating the heart. And bring the arms down. Bring your feet a little wider. Still that slight sit down. Don't go so deep that it hurts your knees. The trick is to slide your pelvis back to squat a little. Now coming up in the center, I'm going to let the arms float up and then rotate over to the side. Let's do this slowly first. Call this swing and twist. We're getting some rotation into the spine. There's a little up and down here with the movement. And if you like to pick it up, once you've got that rhythm, pick up the speed a little. It's very energizing. Or if it feels better to stay a little slower, stay a little slower. Let's pick up the energy and circulation. Up in the center, rotate. Up in the center, rotate. Don't overthink it, that's when it gets complicated. Just relax your body into the movement. Now, if you speeded it up, you don't want to just suddenly stop. So let's take that back to a little slower. And if you ever were to get dizzy or lightheaded, just make sure you get down to the ground. Now, this is a video, so you can pause anytime. Let's take it back and center. Bringing the hands onto the waist. Going to circle from the waist now here. Now think about this as if you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your head. Knees can move, legs can move, so keep those knees a little bent. And circling in a range of motion that feels good to you. You might make it bigger or smaller. Again, just freeing up the spine, having some energy flow, and taking it in another direction. Change things up. The QiGong can be a lovely practice in the morning, especially if you wake up a bit stiff, get things moving in a nice way. And let's come back, center here. Pause for a moment. Bring the hands down to this crease at the top of the femur bone, into the groin. So that's where we move from the hips. We're going to start a bit of movement here from the pelvis in a figure eight. So think like you're drawing a figure eight on the mat with your tailbone. Freeing up the pelvis. And creating a nice flow of movement. So the pelvis is the junction from your upper body to your lower body. So we want some nice flow of movement there. And then try that in the other direction, your figure eights. You should feel good on your back. Nice movement to do on its own for a stiff low back. Let's bring it back center again. Going to rub the hands together and make a little energy here. Feel your hands perhaps getting a bit warmer or tingly. And then hold the hands apart. Feel sensation in your hands themselves. Again, perhaps that tingling and warm. And also perhaps a feeling of something between the hands, the energy between the hands, like there's a substance there that we can't see. Now let's expand and make that a little bigger and then condense. Almost like you're pushing through something like jello, the gel. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice, easy rhythm. Playing with your chi ball. Take it over in a diagonal. Other way. Nice, easy breath. Notice your mind's focus when we pay attention to the breath and the movement together. And let's bring it back center. Pause with our condensed chi ball. Going to come into a flow of movements. And this just means that we'll put a few movements together. Remember, the point is to optimize the energy flow through our body. So let's put a few things that we've already done together before we do that. Movement of the pelvis needs to happen so that we have a lovely integration from upper body to the lower body. And what that means, to take pressure off the knees and the low back if we move the pelvis. I'm going to instruct you to sink down and come up. Although this is a movement up and down, what's actually happening is your pelvis is slightly sliding back, slightly moving forward to get that action. And this makes it very efficient, very nice and easy, and takes away pressure, as I was saying, from the knees. So try that. It's an important functional movement. That's what we do when we get in and out of a chair or up and down. Thinking about the energy, we can feel the energy when we're playing with the chi ball between the hands. We're going to move that energy. Don't worry about it too much, but focus just on a natural, easy breath. And notice where you feel sensation in your body as you come through the flow. Come to our first movement, letting the arms float up. Floating down, sliding the pelvis back and sinking down. Rising up, sliding the pelvis forward and coming up. Arms nice and easy. Shoulders relaxed. Feel that bit of a lift of your energy as you come up. Grounding as you come down. This is waving hands by the sea. And to just flow into our next movement, letting the arms float up and then expanding them out. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, elbows down beneath the shoulders. And bring it back. Remember, condensing that chi ball and sinking down. Pelvis sliding back. Pelvis sliding slightly forward. Expanding and opening. Condensing. And coming down. This is expanding chest on mountaintop. So we can think about that wonderful feeling we might have if we were on a mountaintop. We're just opening, taking in that great scenery or the fresh air. Now these movements, these first movements that we're working with are focused on the upper body and bringing some encouragement for circulation and movement through the upper body. Your arms get tired, remember, just do a little less. You love a movement, stay there a little longer. Now, when we come back here, we're going to drop the hands and then gather up. It's like you're picking up some energy again. Coming up, cross at the forearms, bring that up to about your forehead and then open. And bring the arms back down as you sink down. Gather up and rise up. This is called parting the clouds. I love this movement because just that feeling when we open the hands. And I think of it like, you know, on that cloudy day when the clouds suddenly move and it lets the sunshine through as a way to really clear a fuzzy head. One more really nice big movement here as we bring the arms down. Now we're going to circle them in a range of motion that feels good. Your largest pain-free range of motion. Sinking down as we slide the pelvis back and then rising up as we slide the pelvis slightly forward. And bringing your arms into this big circle where that works for you. Remember, you can modify that and make it a little smaller. And really feel that taking in of energy as you come on up and open. And then releasing down and grounding. Nice balance there. This is rowing boat. Last one. And as the hands come down, just bring them down to the center here, this lower dantian. Pause for a moment. Breathe. Notice the response in your body so far. Going to come into some movements that help free up the spine with rotation. Going to move these from the center of the body or this lower dantian space. You'll notice that the feet and knees stay fairly steady, facing forward. And we can get this action to move from the center. And bring your feet slightly wider if you like. You take the right hand and bring it over to your left, like you're offering something over to someone. So we get this rotation through the upper body. Sink down and over to the other side. Now, as I come up, I'm going to lift this back foot slightly here. Sink down, lift up and over. Relaxing the shoulder. So we're moving from the center, not from the shoulder. The QiGong can be very helpful in having us be mindful of any patterns of movement that aren't very helpful for us. For example, if I was moving from the shoulder here, I might create a lot more neck and shoulder tension than I need to. Moving from the center, it's light and easy in the upper body. Now this time when we come back, face the hands towards each other, like you're holding your chi ball again. Sink a little. Keep both feet down here. Turn from the waist and looking over your shoulder. Sink it down as we come back through the center. Lift a little as you turn and look over your shoulder. That movement from the center of your body again. Like staying fairly stable. Getting some movement into your upper body. Just gazing at the moon. Now, bring this right hand and push it out to your opposite side. Here we'll have a bit of a shift of the weight to the one side. Turn through the wrist and come back in. Shift over. Take the movement from the center of your body. You've got a bit of an elastic here that's extending from your navel and just pulling you back to the center. Pushing out. And drawing back. Nice easy breath, easy movement. Find most of the movements in the QiGong are slow and mindful. Change that up again. So when we come back center here, and keep this one hand in front of the middle dantian, the other hand in front of the lower dantian. Relax at the shoulders and a little space underneath your arms. Sink a little. Turning from the waist. Exchanging your hands. Floating them back to the other side. Again, turning from the center and exchanging. Follow the hands with your gaze so that rotation comes all the way up to the top of your head. This is cloud hands. I like to think of this as just like the clouds on a very lovely summer day, those kind of white, fluffy clouds. And if you watch them for a while, how they just tend to gently shift and change their shape. And just nice, easy breath. And let's bring it back center. Let's bring the legs into a little shake out. Relax the arms down. Again, just another quick pause, 1 or 2 breaths, just checking in the response to the movement so far. Might feel a little more energized, a little more warmth in your body, a little more awake. Just notice. We're going to come into some movements now that help with the balance and coordination. We'll start with rolling with the waves, taking the left foot out, just a slight distance and a slight angle. Just check that out so that you're not too far apart, that you feel wobbly or unstable. I want this to be just a very nice, easy flowing movement. I'm going to shift the weight from the front foot to the back foot. This knee bends a little. We'll come forward, up on that back heel. Toes up here. Shoulders over the hips. This can be very helpful as just in our regular balance and coordination. So for example, this is moving into a step and we're walking. Now I'm going to show you what I don't want you to do here, just so it makes it very clear. If we move from just the shoulders again, so we create that tension in the neck and shoulders, we might be doing something like this. So, shoulders over the hips, nice and easy, crown of the head up. And we're going to bring in the arms, pushing it out and gathering back in. Just rolling with the waves. Try one more this side. And then turn the hands just to hold that chi ball there. We'll step it in. Step out with the other foot. Make sure you feel steady first. If you want to just try that with the arms relaxed at the sides so you can get that lift and lengthen up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed as we're shifting the weight. Front foot to the back foot. And then we can bring in the arms, bringing them up just underneath this lung space here, this top lung space, and then pushing out and gathering back in. It feels a little wobbly, remember, don't take the feet too far apart. As practice as you can. This movement is very helpful to build that balance and coordination. If we practice consistently, the QiGong can really help with that. It's very simple movements. As we bring it in, let's hold that chi ball again. We'll come back to facing forward and work with another balance movement called child bouncing ball. This is a helpful movement as it replicates the same action we would perhaps do when we're stepping up. So if we're going up the stairs. We'll start off with the hand movements. This floating up and releasing down. And then we're going to alternate to shifting the weight to the opposite side of the body. So as you bring up the one arm, lift a little on the opposite foot. Bring the foot and the hand down, lift to the other side. Keep it slow and smooth, so the leg and the arm raise together and release down together. Now let me show you from the side here where I'm coming up on the ball of the foot. If that's easy for you, we're going to add a little challenge where we lift the leg. So we come up and lift the leg. Now, if you can lift the leg so that it's level here, that's about as high as you want to go. Don't let the foot dangle. Keep the foot active. Or lift, not dangling here, but lifting the foot as well. So we strengthen along the lower leg here, the muscles of the lower leg and the foot. So your lift might be a little or all the way up, opposite arm, opposite leg. It's a little challenging, it should be. That's good. And if it's easy, you can add in one more movement so that when we bring up this leg, we come up a little on the bottom foot. I'll do that one more time. Bring it down. Notice how nice it feels to just get both feet back down on the ground. We'll center and ground. You gather up. Bring up the hands like you're lifting your energy from the earth, all the way up the legs, through the spine, to the crown of the head. And then gathering up and bringing that energy down from the sky, through your body, and back down to the ground. Inhale in. Exhale in. Need to take an extra breath, just do it. Don't strain or force your breath. Into one more. The hands just sit for a moment in front of the lower dantian, slightly away. Feel in your body now the response to the full session. Feel your breath. Perhaps noticing your breath is expanded. Rub their hands together one more time. Creating that little more energy, an energy ball, and holding the hands apart. Notice the sensation of the energy in your hands and between the hands. Expand and condense. Just be curious about what you feel. Now condensing that energy and bringing the hands back to the lower dantian. Just resting the hands there, relaxing your body. Just stay with just a simple attentiveness to the breath as we complete the session. If you wish, move back and down into a seated position. Just do that as mindfully aware of your breath as you can, as you shift your position. Staying attentive and aware to the feel of your breath. Once you're seated, if you want to close your eyes or lower your gaze, hands sitting on the lower dantian and just feeling the gentle rise and the fall of your belly. Relaxing into the rhythm of your breath. Taking a few moments to allow all of that movement, mindful awareness of breathing, allowing everything to digest. Let your hands shift, so palms come down on the front thighs. Grounding. And slowly lifting your gaze, opening your eyes. Move a little, perhaps coming back to some cat circles. Excuse me. And then taking your time to slowly and mindfully move into your next activity. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you feel both energized and relaxed. See you soon.